Okay, y'all, I am here with the second and last part of the Real Housewives of Dallas. So we wrapping it on up for this season. I appreciate. I'm gonna say this, Bravo Andy. I'm very appreciative of the fact that you only made this two parts. There was no point of stretching this shit out like the way you be doing with the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You be stretching shit out three parts. I didn't even watch this season. I also want to say, as far as the whole situation, I do not care. That's the same reason I did not watch this season, because it was boring to me. Y'all want to wait till the season's over for this whole thing with Porsche to happen. And as far as I'm concerned, I really don't care. I don't care. I'm not as pressed as everybody else is. But I think that's because I don't care about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Period. It's an old, dusty ass franchise that needs to be literally completely scraped. Everybody needs to get kicked the hell off. And I'm not watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta unless they come back. Unless they either add Nene back, add Phaedra back, or come three things. Either add Nene back, add Phaedra back, or clean house. I would prefer y'all to just clean house and start anew, but I know y'all not gonna do that. So especially with this whole thing with Portia going on now, but I just want to put it out there. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I don't care. Also, before I go, again, if you don't know, last season I reviewed the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I had a wonderful time. It's the only reason why I review all the other Real Housewives is because the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, top tier for me. Like, I was going off in my reviews that last season, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, they brought it. Every episode I was on this camera going off and letting have, and I will be right back when they come back next week, just letting y'all know. So let's get to it. Real Housewives of Dallas season 5 reunion part 2. So I can't scream as much because my boyfriend is sleeping. It's kind of late at night, so I'm gonna keep it cute. And on top of that, like, my mouth is hurting like really badly. I probably should like pop another Tylenol because my mouth is hurting me. But so we start off with where we left off before, okay, y'all, with Dr. Tiffany pretty much and I mean Cam, pretty much saying like, how dare you, like I said in my last video, how dare you sit up here and try to tell me that I'm racist against my own culture? And what did Dr. Tiffany say? She said, because they was talking about the whole thing with the chicken feet. And like Dr. Tiffany said, which is what I said in my last review, it's not really so much about the chicken feet. It's the fact that what she said, you are so privileged and wealthy that you are calling what I eat on a normal basis like disgusting, nasty, because pretty much what it was is that and Dr. Tiffany, thank you so much for bringing it out, was like, you was white splaining, that's what you was doing, and then here come the pro-Trumper Cam pulling out fucking tweets and shit of papers of tweets talking about something. Look, you categorize me by your whole race. That's what you did. So ain't that what you did to her? And it was like a little thingy of somebody saying something about white splaining, and she said, I'm explaining to you why I said you was white splaining. And they showed a clip of when they was at Carrie's party and Tiffany was eating the food and said, this food is really, really good. Here you go, jumping out the window, it's better than the chicken feet. And she was like, girl, first of all, that's eaten any and everywhere. Oh, well, it's not. You pretty much sat across from Tiffany, and I said the episode, and pretty much tried to down talk her and her culture and try to say, oh, I wasn't talking about your culture, I was talking about the food itself. Okay, but the food is part of my culture, and you pretty much just tried to shit on it for absolutely no reason. That's why I said that you were sitting up there trying to white explain. How are you? I don't understand, Cameron. It's this simple. It's not that hard to comprehend. You as a white woman cannot sit across from an Asian woman and tell her anything about her culture. That is not your fucking place. I'm so sorry to curse. It's not your place. It's not your place. It's not your place. Stay in your legally want to be blonde ass lane. Do not sit across from an Asian woman at any point in time and tell her anything about, don't tell her that she's being stereotypical. Don't tell her nothing about her own damn culture. It's out of pocket and it's out of line. And I hope after this reunion, with you getting dragged the way that you was on Twitter from people like me, that you know better next time. Watch your damn mouth. And I'm not going to say it again. Watch your damn mouth. Okay? And something else that Dr. Tiffany said that I really, really agree with. And it's not just Cam, it's so many white people that do this. Dr. Tiffany said, in my opinion, Cam, you were more concerned about not coming off racist to the general public than you were actually just treating me nicely. I said, come on, Dr. Tiffany, come on. Speak a word. Speak a word. Speak a word. Man, y'all, oh my goodness, bruh. Y'all don't know how much that is done. Y'all, and when I say white people, I'm not talking about all, of course. I'm talking about certain pockets. There are certain pockets of white people who live like Cam, who you are more concerned about coming off not being racist. You're more concerned about the perception of you not being racist than your actual actions. Because the way that you treated Dr. Tiffany versus what you're saying are two completely different things. Okay? That really hit home for me. I said, yes, that is so true. I couldn't have said it better. You were more concerned about not coming off racist than actually just not being racist. This is why we need Dr. Tiffany on this damn show, because she comes through with the come through. Okay, so then we talk about the crickets. Oh my gosh, here comes Cam again. It's illegal to put in the state of Texas. It's illegal to do that. Okay, girl, who did you pay to look that up? Okay, who did you pay to look that up, girl? But Cam really thought. Let's just put this shit to bed right now, girl. Cam, you really thought you was doing something? Cause I could sit back and relax. Cause I ain't even gotta go in. Girl, you really thought you was doing something with your little pink box. You thought that you was Monique. Well, let's be real. The only thing that you was like Monique is the fact that y'all both had stale ass teeth. Let's be real about it. At least Monique had a little bit more anticipation to what the hell she was going to say. Girl, your receipts was lazy. Okay? They were not shocking. It wasn't no tea. Dr. Tiffany herself said, girl, I don't need you to pull out any papers from Twitter, because I know what I said. In the words of Nene, I said what I said. Okay? I said what I said, and it's just that simple. Girl, you could have kept that little box that you had. Girl, it was worthless. You wanted to... Cam wanted to have a moment so badly. She wanted to have a haha gotcha moment. It never happened. It never happened, boo-boo. You are not girl, you ain't there yet. You can't even shade correctly. What the fuck? Talk about the crickets, okay? And like I said, whatever. I don't even care about what Cam said. Andy asked Deandra, do you think that they overreacted? They absolutely did. Deandra was like, yes, they did. And they was all like, oh, don't ask Deandra because she'll eat whatever. Yes, that's true. Well, Deandra admitted to that. But the point of the matter is y'all did. Every single last one of y'all overreacted because, again, y'all wanted a reason to come for her. And what made me mad more than anything, this reunion, and you know what? I'm trying to give grace where grace is due, because, you know, hindsight is 20/20. But I love how now all of a sudden all of y'all girls want to talk about oh, I'm so sorry that you didn't feel like you fit in with us. Oh, I'm so sorry you felt like you was lonely. When all of y'all, in my opinion, y'all all went out of y'all way to make her feel like that. Y'all all did. Every single last one of y'all except Deandra. The only thing Deandra did wrong, which is what she confessed up to later, is not sticking up and having Tiffany's back on certain things. But the rest of y'all did that shit. I also want to say, because I have this here too, that I find it funny that everybody is so disgusted with eating crickets and eating chicken feet, which, like she said, is a delicacy in a lot of different places of the world, but y'all played in chicken shit. That's what y'all did when who threw that party? Was it Stephanie? When Stephanie threw that damn party and y'all had the little chicken, y'all played in chicken shit. And there's nothing wrong with playing with and in chicken shit. But there's something wrong with eating a chicken foot. Now, me personally, do I want a chicken foot? No, my grandma and them love chicken feet. Is it for me? Absolutely not. But I would never sit up here and shit on it all day. I used to do that when I was a kid. I'm a grown-ass woman now. It just ain't for me, and it's just that simple. Girl, good luck, and good the fuck night. Hold on, y'all, because my fucking laptop's about to die. Make sure it's charging. Hold on, y'all. All right, cool. Good to go. All right, so yeah. So then Cam talks about, oh, how she was so excited to be friends with Dr. Tiffany because, I was the new girl at one point, but you're just a cyber bully. Bad girl, she ain't a cyber bully. You just weak-minded. You ain't got no damn backbone. You're too damn sensitive. And again, Cam, let me say this. Because this is the last time I'm going to say it this season. I'm not going to say it again because y'all heard me say 15 times. You do not have a storyline or a life. So you have the time to sit there and comb through and worry about every little thing that Dr. Tiffany says because you don't have anything else to do. What else are we supposed to do here, Cam? You don't have anything else to do. So no shit, you just sit there and pick apart all of her damn tweets. Girl, good night and bye-bye, okay? Then she tried to pull out some text because I think we was like, Andy said something to the effect of like, oh, well, can you guys like move on from here or whatever? And Dr. Tiffany was like, you want to know what? Yeah, we can try to move on or whatever. And here comes the Barbie doll with no damn brain in there pulling it out like, okay, I just want to see it. Andy's like, what are you pulling out now? She's like, oh, I just want to pull out text messages, to show that that you said that before. And the first time I think Andy did read the text messages, no, he read the text messages about her reaching out to Tiffany to like when she first started. But then when she tried to pull out text messages about, oh, you said we was gonna move forward, Andy, like me and the rest of the people watching, was like, girl, we're talking about now. Okay, but girl, we don't care. We're talking about right now. Are you gonna move forward? Yes or no? Because I don't have time for you to be pulling out papers. Because even Deandra was like, girl, that shit's annoying. Put it away. And like Dr. Tiffany said, I'm going to stand on everything I said, so you don't have to pull out anything to make no point. I'm going to stand 10 toes on what I said, and that's what I respect about Dr. Tiffany. Shout out to her, okay? So then at the end of that little segment, Cam was like, I mean, yeah, that's fine. We can go ahead and we can move forward as long as you're saying it. And she was like, okay. And she was like, well, we can do a hug. And Dr. Tiffany was like, I mean, I didn't know there was a hug. And I'm sitting there looking like, this is a fake ass hug. And Dr. Tiffany went right on her Twitter and said the same thing. She was like, when you do the fake ass hug, because y'all not really friends. Cam, you don't really like Dr. Tiffany. You keep saying, I don't know why you don't like me, Dr. Tiffany. I don't know what it is that I do to you. Girl, we're not going down that. If y'all want to know how I feel, go back and watch my last video. And it'll explain to you exactly why Cam really has a problem, okay? I'm not explaining it again. So then we go over to Deandra, and we go through her little storyline. One of the first things that's brought up is a viewer says, Brandy, don't you think that you was being a hypocrite by trying to pull a Christianity card about the whole shaman thing when you the one out here talking to ghosts? If y'all go back and watch my review on that, I said the same thing during that episode. And Brandy's talking about some, oh, I don't know what it was that we was chanting, and I don't know, it could have been witchcraft. So let me get this right. Seeing a shaman is possibly witchcraft, but talking to a medium who's conjuring up spirits and ghosts is not a form of witchcraft? What the shut up. Just shut the hell up. Like, who even did somebody text me? Girl, shut up. We don't care, girl. Just shut the hell up. Just shut up. Just shut up, Randy, because you gave me a headache on that one. And then I think Deandra was like, well, what do you think Jesus would have said if you out here, with a dildo and stuff like that, trying to put it on camera? She's like, I think Jesus will find it funny. Again, just going right on to what Deandra said, which is, you're a cafeteria Christian. You want to pick and choose what counts and what don't count, girl. By you, at the end of the day, the way I look at it is, you was trying to be on a redemption arc for this season because of the video that you put out. So now you want to pull the, oh, I'm Christian. Oh, I'm so Christian. Oh, I'm so Christian. Oh, I'm so Christian. To take it there, but to not take it there. What about Brian? Because is adultery something that God like? Hope you got on your husband just as much as you got on her. Just saying. Next. So then we get on to the whole thing about Deandra's last name, okay? And Deandra's mom pretty much said, I think like on one episode, that the reason why she changed her last name is because because Deandra would get into more doors and stuff like that with the Simmons name and stuff like that. And she was, she got a little bit emotional. She was like, look, Glenn Simmons, which is, the stepfather her stepfather, she was like, he was in my life since he was 6. He did everything for me. So when I became 18, between 18 and 20 is when I changed my name. My mom told me I should have been did it, but I did it when I was around 18 or 20. Then they talk about, like the money aspect of it or whatever. And she said that her actual dad actually has way more money than Glenn Simmons had. And she talked about the inheritance and how it was split because her dad and his father, whatever, like got oil and gas, which y'all know that's a lot of money. And so Andy is like, how much money? Like 20, 10 million? 20 million, 30 million. She's like, way more than that. 40 million, way more than that. She probably in the hundreds of $1,000,000. Deandra's pretty fucking good, I'm pretty sure. What I do want to say about that is the way I look at it. Now, I don't know enough about any of like the people. I don't know enough about her stepfather, and I don't know enough about her dad. But if her dad had a lot of money the way that her stepdad then I don't really think it would have mattered either way. I think regardless, because she is a white woman in the South with a lot of money, she would have been able to make it anyway, regardless. Like they said, at the end of the day, even if that's not your last name, your mom's last name is Simmons. So I don't think she would have had to switch her name to be able to get into the doors that she did. That's just my opinion. That's just my humble opinion. She did say though that she was very, very sorry for what she said to her mom at the party and calling her outside her name. You could tell she got real emotional. And I added Deandra and I told her, boo, don't worry about it. Don't even worry about it. Shout out to Deandra. If you're watching my reviews again, shout out to you. Then we go on to Brandy, okay? Now, okay, let's get through it. Let's just go through it, okay? So first of all, we see the baby, had a little baby, you look cute. So we talk about the fact that Brandy has had a rough year. Her mother-in-law was killed in a tragic car accident. And her daughter was actually in a car too. I think they was coming from like somebody's house and that 18-wheeler hit them. Her mother-in-law died on impact and her daughter was thankfully survived and was okay. So she's dealing with that. Then they talk about, which my condolences go to Brandy and her family as far as that's concerned. Very sorry. Then we talk about the video, okay? Like I just talked about the adultery a second ago. Okay, now there was a video that came out about Brian being at the club with a woman. Okay, now Brandy does say that it was real. Like you can't say that it's not real, but she said that the video was taken back in 2018 and it was during like a joint bachelorette party or whatever the case may be or whatever. And so Andy, without asking, pretty much was like, so what's going on? Like, y'all still together? Like, are you going to leave him? And this is what I took from what Brandy said. Because what she said was, as mad as I am at him, I can't leave him because that man has been there for me and he is here for me. So I can't leave him and I wouldn't leave him. The way I took that is, okay, I found out that you cheated on me, but at the same time, your mom also passed away. And so I don't want to be like a bitch and pick up all my shit and leave because your mom just passed away. And I know that that's like really tragic for you. And so you was there for me through like all my shit. And then, they've been with each other since they was in 8th grade. So you got to take that into consideration too. But she's like, that's the way I look at it. I think it's, if y'all ever watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, something similar happened with the girl Sierra on there, and I can't think of her baby's father's name because I haven't watched it in a long time. But whoever, not her baby father, her husband. Yeah, I think it was her baby father too. Baby father / husband, the one with the dreads. She found out that he was cheating on her with somebody that worked in her salon. She ended up like breaking up with him or something like that. But like during that time frame of them breaking up, his son was shot and killed. And so she was still around for him, but he was mad because she still left him. He felt like, oh, well, seeing how my son died, like, you should still be here for me. That's the kind of vibes that this gives me. This gives me like Brandy really probably did want to leave, but between her finding out that she was pregnant, because she didn't know, but between her finding out that she was pregnant and the fact that he had just lost his mom, I think those two things together probably made her feel like, I probably don't really want to leave him, or I want to leave him, but maybe it would be like kind of bitchy. Girl, and this is me taking away all of the stuff that about me not necessarily caring for Brandy, because I don't think Brandy's coming back on this show next year. Thank God, because Brandy's not really my cup of tea. But I will say this. Girl, It is very unfortunate that he lost his mama. It is super unfortunate that he's like, and it's even more unfortunate that your daughter had to be, even akin to that whole situation. That is very unfortunate. However, that does not give that man the right. What I'm saying is, don't let that man use this situation to coddle you or to string you back in. If you feel like what that man did was completely out of pocket and disgusting, and put it like this, if none of this would have happened as far as his mom's concerned, would you have packed your shit and left? Would you have packed your shit and left? If the answer to that question is yes, then you need to keep doing what you can do, because you can still be there for that man, emotionally, and not be with him. Or at least tell him, you got to get the fuck out until we figure something out. Or I'm going to get the fuck out until we figure something out. But it sounds like to me, the reason why she's staying with him is because she feels guilty. It's because it's like, well, I was going through a hard time and you helped me. So, you're going through a hard time with your mom. So, I guess I'll just help you. And I understand feeling protective over your husband and the father of your children. But girl, don't let that man do that to you. If you want to leave, sis. It's just that simple. Then she said, that more than anything with the whole situation with him cheating is she was just more so aggravated that somebody sent her daughter a link of the video, to her Instagram and stuff like that, and how she had to see that. Now, she was like, and I think I know who did that, and I think it's wrong. And so Andy was like, who you think did that? They go to break, come back, because he was like, Deandra, do you know who did it? Because he was like, Dr. Tiffany, do you know? She was like, no. She was like, Deandra, do you know? She was like, maybe. And it was like, who? And she was like, I'm thinking it's probably Leanne. Now, all of the girls except, Dr. Tiffany, but the rest of the girls, and except Cam, because I think Cam's cool with Leanne, all said that they felt like Leanne was the one who sent the video, whatever, because she's real conniving and she's real ignorant like that. And I also want to say that Leanne, because I went on her Twitter, Leanne put up a tweet 7 hours ago and said to stop putting her name in her mouth, stop putting her name in your mouth, and especially don't put her name in your mouth, and don't try to blame her, especially don't blame her for the ratings. I said, Leanne, bitch. Do I think that Leanne did that? Cam said that she don't think Leanne did it, but maybe somebody that she know did it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna say possibly not. I don't think maybe like Cam said, maybe she indirectly did it. But I also feel like maybe Leanne didn't do it because that was a story that I heard too. That was a story that I heard from somebody commenting underneath my stuff. And at the end of the day, if your child is on any type of social media, she was gonna figure that out anyway. Somebody was gonna tell her. Even if somebody did not tell her, she would have found that out. Yes, it's rude of whoever sent it directly to her, but she's online. She would have figured it out sooner rather than later. She would have figured it out. So yeah, so then I think when we're also talking about, that's what it is, because we're talking about Leanne still, because I'm sorry, I was trying to read my notes. Okay, so during that little segment right there when we're talking about Leanne, Stephanie says that the reason why she felt like it was Leanne is because Leanne was very, very angry about the fact that she was no longer on the show, but that Brandy was allowed on the show. And that's a question that I have. That's a question that I personally have for Andy and the producers of Bravo. Why is it that Leanne is no longer allowed to be on the show, but Brandy was? When to me, they pretty much kind of did the same thing. It was both racially insensitive as fuck. Period, across the board. The biggest difference is that the reason why I feel like it was worse for Brandy, not that Brandy really had a hand in it, but I feel like Bravo, y'all literally used, in my opinion, Bravo used Dr. Tiffany as a way to address the whole situation with Brandy. That's my own opinion. And I think that's even more disgusting. And personally, I think that's even more disgusting the way that Bravo handled that period. So you trying to tell me Brandy do that video and y'all just so happen to bring on an Asian housewife? I just find that something don't add up for me there. But I do agree with the fact that the consequences should have been same across the board, and not just from like Bravo and them, but even from the girls themselves. None of y'all went as hard on Brandy as y'all did on Leanne, and those are the facts of the matter. None of y'all fucking did. None, and I've said that multiple times throughout the season. So then we talk about the video, of course, that Tiffany did. I mean that Brandy did, and Dr. Tiffany said that she never thought that she was racist. She don't really know, how much more that Brandy can do, but she just didn't understand, which we'll get to in a second, like why she was like acting so weird around her. Then a viewer says, why, pretty much like we've all been saying, why have you been playing victim all damn season? And all her answer was like, oh, well, I mean, I feel like I really went above and beyond, to be friends with Dr. Tiffany. I feel like I took accountability. I feel like you did not. You did take accountability a little bit, like in the beginning, and you did like in the middle, but I still feel like everybody else, you played victim way too much throughout this entire season. We didn't even touch on the whole thing with you being mad at Deandra, when all Deandra did was say that you were going to address that video, and you took that moment to make yourself a victim. I'm sorry, it just came off like you was trying to be a victim way too much. It was way too much crying and way too much, oh, woe is me, and it wasn't enough of. It was too much crying and too much woe is me versus, you want to know what? But put my big girl panties on. I said what I said, I did what I did, and now I have to face the consequences of my actions. It's just that simple. I don't need nobody to feel bad for me. I don't need nobody to shed no tears for me. This is what I did, so now I have to now walk in the consequences of that. And that wasn't the energy that you came with. You came on from the very first episode of this season, Brandy, with the energy of, oh, what was me, and I just made a mistake, and I tried, and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that, girl. We don't want to fucking hear it. So, like I said, so she said, so Brandy's like, oh, I felt like I went above and beyond. I even took her to the hospital that night. And Dr. Tiffany was like, well, in my opinion, no, you didn't. You wasn't very welcoming. You wasn't very open towards her. But again, none of y'all were except Deandra, because of course Deandra was her way in there. But the rest of y'all was not open to her. Y'all was nitpicking every fucking, go back and watch every episode of this season, especially in the beginning, like the first 5, 6, 7 episodes, y'all was nitpicking everything when it came to Dr. Tiffany. Every little thing that y'all could find something wrong to say, y'all was saying it. Those are the facts of the matter. Those are the fucking facts, okay? Then Brandy says, then Dr. Tiffany, she was like, what I don't understand is, you said that you didn't feel like, you couldn't, like you couldn't be yourself around me, and I didn't get that, because we was laughing, giggling, starting doing all of this. So what do you mean you couldn't be open and honest with me, or be your real self with me? And even Andy was like, yeah, I don't get that. And she was like, oh, well, when you want to make little jokes like, love you long time, or like, I really didn't know how to react to that. The old Brandy would impersonate with you and joking, but I just feel like I couldn't do that. I really feel like I couldn't be myself. Now I'm gonna say this, Brandy, that statement itself came off very wrong. I know what she was trying to say, but again, it's how you say it, because when you say that, okay, listen to what you're saying, Brandy. You said that when you felt like you couldn't be yourself, because when she was making jokes about being Asian, you could not join in on those jokes, so you couldn't be yourself. Do you see how that comes off a little bit kind of offensive? Like, that comes off as like, if, so you're saying the only way that you can be yourself is if you can sit up there and make fun of her being Asian? I know that's not what you meant, but I'm telling you how it came off. I'm telling you how it came off. I agree with Dr. Tiffany when she was like, you should have just pulled me to the side and said, hey, when you say this, or when you said that, I'm not really sure how to respond. What would be the appropriate way for me to respond? Because I'm not sure. I don't want to be offensive. That's all you have to do is fucking ask. That's it. But like Dr. Tiffany said, instead of doing that, you took your own insecurities, whatever it is that you was going through, and you dumped it in my lap, and that's not cool. Deandra, said that the only thing that she really felt bad about is the fact that she should have stepped up at a lot of different times and had Tiffany's back, and she didn't. She sat in the back and she said absolutely nothing. And Andy asked Carrie the same thing. She was like, I mean, Leanne said that about you, and it doesn't seem like you really had her back. You damn sure didn't, because let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, Carrie. You're full. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to give people like them having a redemption moment, and I know hindsight is 2020. But Carrie, the reason why I feel like you're full of shit is because on the very, I don't know if it was the first or second episode, when Brandy had went out and was crying or whatever the case may be, because Dr. Tiffany asked her a simple question about, I think she was like, oh, we need to talk or something like that whenever you get a second. And Brandy had a whole breakdown. You want to run outside and comfort her. No, that's not how that works. Not Leanne, Carrie, that's not how this shit works. You can't be so up in arms when somebody says something about you, but then the minute somebody says the same thing about somebody else, now you want to go and comfort the person who was the person doing the offender. It don't work like that. It don't work like that. Y'all piss me off this season. Y'all piss me off. So Deandra was like, we should have talked to you about like how you felt about everything versus like expecting you to just like, come and tell us and, tell us what was wrong, tell us how you was feeling. And it's like, okay, Deandra, I feel that and I understand that and I appreciate that. However, it's also sometimes very, very annoying as like a person. Are Asians people of color? Do we classify them as people of color? Well, people who aren't white, pretty much. It's very tasking sometimes and annoying to have to explain your humanity to people. As far as I'm concerned, if y'all would just, and y'all, when I mean y'all, I don't mean everybody, I mean the people that I'm talking about, this certain group. If people would just walk around treating everybody the way they wanted to be treated, if you just treated me like a regular person, if you just treated me like I am Stephanie, or I am Brandy, or I am Carrie, if you just treated me like a regular ass person, then maybe we'd be fine. I shouldn't have to sit up here and explain to you why you shouldn't be fucking offensive. Like, we're in 2021. If you don't know that certain things are offensive or anything, like, you're just not trying. You're not trying hard enough. And there's something called Google. Dr. Tiffany shouldn't have to sit up here and explain to you why doing that is offensive. She shouldn't have to. Like, come on, we in 2021. Everybody grow the fuck up for real. So yeah, that was just pretty much that. And Brandy because they asked like, Brandy, what was her last little takeaways? And she was like, we're all human and we all deserve grace. And I said, okay, but what about Leanne? Did Leanne deserve grace? Did she deserve? And this is not me trying to take Leanne's side. I'm not sticking up for Leanne, because I've said 1,010 times what Leanne said was completely trifling. It was wrong. It was out of pocket. She's completely wrong for what she said. However, we need to keep the same energy across the board. So my question is, does Leanne deserve the same grace? Does Leanne deserve the same, oh, well, she's human, she makes a mistake? That's all I want to know. That's all I want to know. So then we ended, and he goes around and asks everybody what they feel like they should have did. And Stephanie pretty much says like, oh, I do want to say that I feel sorry for Dr. Tiffany, because, she said a lot that she felt alone. And then Dr. Tiffany got real emotional and was like,